And we're live there. All right. So, hi, morning. I just had a little thing pop up and say there's a poor connection. So I don't know how this is gonna work out today. Hopefully that won't disrupt us in the middle. Can you imagine being in something that like what now? So hopefully that won't be an issue for you. Let's see, we're getting close. If there's any audio or video problems, please try and let me know. I know sometimes, especially on YouTube, if you're watching on your TV, there's next to no way to communicate, and that's okay. But I'd hate to be going and have it be frozen and not notice, right? Or you can't hear me or some other crazy thing. So, yeah, be sure to do that. If you have questions or something's going on, definitely put it in the notes. I try to peek over here. Morning, Amy. Something came up. Okay, all right. Yeah, catch it on the replay. I'll try to pop over here and check the notes and see if stuff is going on that I can address. If it is something that we can talk about later, I'll do that with you as well. Remember, any pose that doesn't feel right for you, for whatever reason it may be, come out of it. If you can modify it, lovely, right? If it's just something that isn't working out for whatever reason, that's okay too. Morning, Therese. Sandy. All right. Oh, I see that Any Day Yoga is live. It popped up on the top. That's hilarious. Morning, Cheryl. Morning, guys. All right. So, Barb, hello. Nice to see you. You're a YouTuber, I thought, no? Anyway, either way, I just wanted to let you know, just super quick, that the 4-week that Zen program that I had talked about is really going really well. And I love it, right? And I want to share just a little bit about it. Morning, Debbie. So I'm going to do a 5-day challenge, right? It's just 5 days. It's just the 15-minute asana program. So you sign up, we'll have a Facebook page for it. I might have videos somewhere else if that works out a little bit better. But 15-minute asana practice every day for 5 days. That's it. Super simple, right? But it kind of sets you in the pattern for an everyday practice, right? Whether that happens right away, whether that happens to develop into an hour-long practice or not, doesn't matter. That's where it begins, right? So if you're up for that, make sure you pop it in the comments, contact me, and I'll add you to the Facebook page that I'm going to set up. All right. Anydayyoga.com. I've got access here on Facebook. Of course, you can either instant message me or just put it in the notes. That's fine too. I'll hook you up through there. If I don't have your email address, drop that to me, maybe in an instant message or something, or at anydayyoga.com. There's an access for that as well. So I can keep you up to date on every little nonsense thing that's happening in my head. Right? Because I only get to see you for this little short time once a week. And I got lots of nonsense in my head. So, all right, we're going to get going today. We've got just a kind of all over practice. We're going to be a little bit focused on our hamstrings and our hips, but all over as well. So make sure, again, if something is working fantastically, then delight in that. And if something isn't really working out today, just kind of sit back and maybe wait or modify or whatever you have to do to make it right for you. All right. So we're going to start seated. If you want to prop up, may want to block today. So if that's you, that's you. You can prop up on a block or on a blanket or anything or not, right? Or a Keiko. Morning, Keiko. All right. So come to a comfortable seat with the heels aligned as much as you possibly can. Taking your inner thigh rotation so that your pelvis feels upright. However you have to make that happen, that is the key. That's where it all begins. So the belly is engaged, lifting the pelvic floor, lower belly in and up, tall through your sides, relaxing into your shoulders here. And then just closing your eyes. Turning inward. Noticing how your body feels, where your mind is. What your breath is doing. And then allow your breath to expand. It wants to, right? As soon as you pay attention to it, it wants to get bigger. Expanding into the breath until you find that just beyond comfortable place. Keeping the mind focused here. Keeping this nice full breath flowing. Let's go ahead and extend it. Oh, okay, go. That was fun. Sorry, you guys. Hope that didn't make you sick. Extend the arms out to the sides. Inhale as you stretch them up toward the ceiling. And then exhale, bring them back down again. We'll do that again. Up and down. Once more. And then back to the top. Inhale. Exhale your right hand back to the mat and give yourself a little tip. Stay rooted on the pelvis. Take a nice big breath here. Open up your left side ribs. And with the inhale, come on back to center. And then switch. Take it over to the left. Full breath. And back to center. One more time like that on each side, taking it right. Maybe a little bit deeper stretch here if you feel it. Back to center. And over to the left. We'll inhale, come back up to the middle. And then exhale, release the arms back to the sides. Stay sitting nice and tall here, belly in. Go ahead and take your left hand to your right knee, your right hand behind your back a little bit. Easy little twist over to the right here. And then release that and take your second side. Same idea, just this gentle twist to start. We'll come back to the center. Go back to that first side again. Use your arms a little bit more. So press into your right hand, pull against the knee a bit maybe. And it doesn't have to be the knee. It can be up on the thigh here, wherever, right? And rotate around a little bit deeper into the twist. Take your time. Still gently, moving gently. You never want to yank. Come on back through the center. We'll take the second side. And then let's release that back to the middle again. So bring the soles of the feet together here. Hang on to your ankles, lift your chest. Sometimes if you pull against your ankles a little bit, it helps you sit tall. So if you need that, definitely use it. Elbows to the inner hips here, pressing them down. You can press the knee down, but it doesn't want to stay, right? If you encourage the hip down, that's when the knee will fall. So encourage the hip down. Sit upright if that's where you need to be. Otherwise, maybe hinge forward, belly button to thighs-ish. Keeping your shoulders back, your elbows in, your spine nice and long. And just finding the sensation where you find it. So more in your hips, more in your back, wherever it might be this morning. Nice and easy here. We're going to hinge back up and extend the legs out long. So take your time, find your seat. I need to adjust here a little bit. I messed up. Sitting nice and tall. And again, you can still have your hips lifted a little bit, but watch that the knees may hyperextend at that point, and you definitely don't want that. So maybe coming off the block if you don't need it here, right? So the legs are long, belly still pulled in, right? Let's go ahead and stretch the arms up and allow yourself to fold forward. Let your hands fall, of course, where they naturally do. Try not to reach. And then work with your breath here. So on an inhale, let it kind of fill up into your belly. And then exhale, maybe sink a little deeper. And you can physically lift up a little bit and then fall a little bit, or not as much, right? It can be more pronounced or more subtle, whatever works for you. Maybe after a breath or two, you're in a little bit deeper. Sometimes the body just wants a second. Hold one more breath here in this deeper fold. And then with the inhale, come all the way up, stretch to the ceiling, releasing the arms. So we're going to open the feet into a straddle, and you can be still facing forward on your mat. You can turn sideways a little bit in case you don't want to be on the floor, if you want to stay on your mat. And just find a stretch. You don't have to worry about why. It doesn't matter as long as you're feeling a little sensation in the inner hip here. Okay? So you want to sit tall as well. Making sure you're upright on your pelvis. Of course, you can adjust at any time. Belly's in. Let's go ahead and stretch the arms up here. We're going to rotate around toward the left leg and then fold over the leg. And the hands can just fall to the floor, making sure the right sit bone stayed on the mat. And just like when we were folding forward, you may feel a little subtle inhale, lift, and exhale, fold. Take another big breath. And then inhale as you come back up to the middle. We're going to rotate around to the right. Do the same thing over here. Just let the hands fall to the floor. Pelvis stays neutral. Okay. Feeling the inner hip, the lower back, wherever you're feeling this sensation as well. Moving a little bit with the breath to maybe make your way in a little bit deeper. And then with the next inhale, let's come back up to the middle and release the arms. We're going to take that left hand and pin it up underneath the right thigh. Sit up nice and tall here, stretch the right arm up, and then hinge over to the left. So left wherever left is, right? You can bring your elbow more to the inner thigh. You can take it all the way to the floor even, maybe if that's accessible. But we want to rotate the chest and belly toward the ceiling. So really drawing this right shoulder back, looking up unless that makes your head or your neck hurt or makes you dizzy, whatever it is. Just opening up the front of the body toward the ceiling. Let's take another big breath. And then we're going to inhale, come on back up again. And then switch. So the right hand pins up underneath the left thigh. Reach the left arm up and hinge it over. And again, just working into wherever this arm will go, catching the inner thigh, maybe to the floor, maybe not, and then rotating around, belly and chest. Maybe the head, maybe not. Taking one more breath, and then making your way back up again. So then take the hands to center, still sitting nice and tall here. Go ahead and hinge forward. And the body goes where it goes. Don't worry about deep again. You're looking for sensation. We want to work to keep the shoulders back, so maybe not stretching them forward. You can always stretch them out. That'll help keep your shoulders back. Take one more breath here. With an inhale, hinge back up. And we'll bring the legs back together. And maybe just bounce around a little bit. Sometimes the body needs this. And then we're going to make our way around onto hands and knees. Keeping the four corners of the hands nice and even into the mat. Cushion, of course, if you need to cushion. And then a little bit of cat-cow here. Inhale the belly low. And exhale as you round the spine toward the ceiling. Follow your breath. And just gently work into your spine. Let's go once more in each direction. And then find a center. From the tabletop, make your way into a kneeling plank. So letting the hips come forward without letting your belly sag. Shoulders are neutral on the back. Holding here, nice and even into the hands. Taking a full plank if you want a full plank. You can stay on your knees a little longer if you need to. We're not holding forever. And then nice and easy, let's go ahead and lift the hips, making your way to down dog. Wiggling and stretching, this one always just feels good, right? It just feels right to sort of wiggle around and make your way in. Settle into it, pressing into the arms, sinking into the heels. From here, we're going to walk the feet forward, make our way to our standing fold. Placing the hips up on the feet up underneath the hips. Toes are pointing forward here. We're going to take the hands up to the thighs and come halfway up. So work to keep the belly in and the shoulders back here. Feel the hips over the ankles rather than leaning into your heels. Make sure the shoulders stay back. You can lean if you need to lean, of course. Bend into the knees. Go ahead and sit back, coming into a chair here. Feeling even on your feet. The belly's in, tailbone's tucked. We don't want our butt sticking out. And we want to lift the chest as much as possible. Hands can come to center. They can extend. They can be hanging on. wherever the hands need to be. We're going to take one more breath. And then inhale as we stretch up to the ceiling. And exhale to release the arms. So we're going to take some sun salutes here. We're going to start off simple. If you want to stick with the simpler poses, feel free. If you want to add on, feel free to be there as well. So let's inhale, stretch the arms to the ceiling. Exhale, take yourself over into a fold. With the inhale, come halfway up. Keep those shoulders back. And exhale, step yourself back into a plank. Kneeling if you want to kneel. Down to the belly, elbows in. Hands next to the side ribs as we just roll into the shoulders. Tiny little baby cobra here. Exhale, releasing up and back, down dog. Inhale, step the feet forward. Back up to the top of the mat. Next inhale, we're halfway up. And then back over again. Come all the way up, reach to the ceiling. And exhale the arms. So just like that again. Inhale. And fold. Halfway up. Exhale back to your plank. And all the way down to the belly. That same exhalation if you can. Hands next to the side ribs as you roll. Maybe a little pull here, lengthening your spine. And then releasing up and back, down dog. Inhale to step forward. Come halfway up. Exhale back over again. And then all the way up. And release. So we're going to add on with this next one. Make sure that you're modifying or not modifying, right? With the inhale, sit into a chair this time. And then exhale into your fold. Come halfway up. Exhale, step yourself back, plank. Down to the belly. Hands next to the side ribs, roll, pull, maybe a little press coming a bit higher, releasing that up and back into down dog. With this inhale, step the right foot forward, come to lunge. Work your toes to the top of the mat here. You can drop the back knee or the back heel. Lift the upper body, reaching the arms, and then exhale as you come back down again, step back, down dog. Inhale, shift forward, plank. Take it down. Roll to your cobra, and then back to down dog. We'll switch sides here, left foot stepping forward. Toes to fingers, knee or heel to the mat, and lift. Come on down again, exhale, step back, down dog. We'll shift forward into plank one more time, and take it down. Roll to your cobra, releasing back to down dog. And then holding your down dog, dropping down into child's pose if that's better. Take this moment to kind of catch your breath. Taking one more breath here. And then making your way back to down dog. From there, inhaling as you step forward, fold. Halfway up. And then back over. Sitting into your chair. And then exhaling to release it all. So be sure you're flowing with your breath on those. Take your time in and out if you need, right? So from here, we're going to go ahead and take a short step back with the right foot. All 10 toes are going to point forward. Adjust a little wider or more narrow if you need. And then bending into the left knee, try and keep your right heel on the floor. So again, you may have to adjust your feet a little bit, and maybe just so that you don't fall down, right? Because this can be a bit of a balance trick. Take your time and adjust as you need. Hips are square to the top. Shoulders, same idea. We're going to reach the arms. Relax the shoulders. You can look up or not.
And then instead of reaching the arms, let's take the fingers to interlace behind the back. We're going to draw the shoulder blades toward each other. Reach the knuckles back towards your right heel, keeping the chest open. Gently here. Take the left leg straight. And we're going to fold forward over that left leg.
Take your time. Sometimes with no hands to catch you, the brain doesn't like it so much. So go slow. Keep reaching the knuckles away. And then release the fingertips to the floor. We're going to go ahead and bend into the knees. Step the right foot back a little bit. Maybe roll around into your hips a little bit. And then let's take that left leg straight again. So again here, if you're using a block, totally fine to prop up on a block or your shin even, right? So maybe digging into this fold a little deeper. Maybe your body has a point where it's done, right? And if you never go past that, it's still okay. You never want to go past where the body is done, but you know what I mean. If the body never progresses, it's fine. So bend back into the knee. If you can just lift your back foot up off the floor, go for it. Otherwise, hop that right foot in until you can lift the toes away from the floor. So maybe they stay close. Maybe the leg lifts hip height-ish. Right? You can stay with your fingertips on the floor, or maybe climb up your thigh and lift your upper body parallel to the floor. So watch that the right hip doesn't cock up, right? Keep it square. You can hang on, you can fly the arms. Make sure the shoulders stay back. You're gonna breathe here. And then we're gonna bend back into this left knee so we can set the right foot back down on the floor where we started for our warrior one, maybe extending the arms. Like nothing else happened, right? And then let's release it all, step back to the top of the mat. And just take a second, allow your mind to recognize how the one side of your body feels versus the other side so far. So let's see if we can make a match. Short step back with the left foot. And again, if it's not perfect right where it lands, fix it, right? It's totally fine. Bending into the left knee, gluing, right knee, gluing the left heel to the floor. Just making sure we're square to the top of the mat, stretching the arms up. If and when you're ready. Nice even breaths. And then taking those fingers to again interlace. If you choose this time, you might want to maybe grab opposite elbow back there. If that helps. Stretching the knuckles away so the chest stays nice and open and lifted, regardless of what the arms are actually doing. Let's take the right leg straight-ish. And then gently hinge yourself forward. Take your time. Let's release the fingertips to the mat. Go ahead and bend into the knee, step back maybe a little bit deeper with that left leg. Roll around a little bit again here if that works. And then let's find that center again, taking the right leg straighter. Propping if you need to prop, of course, here. You can always drop the back knee in lunges too if you're feeling it. Let's go ahead and bend back into the knee. And then again here, hopping the foot in or just lifting the leg up off the floor, wherever you are. And don't worry about high. You only want it level to the floor anyhow, right? Maybe climb up. Keeping the shoulders back, that left leg strong, even if it's an inch up off the ground. Okay, flying the arms if you fly the arms. And then bend back into the right knee so we can set that left foot back down on the mat for warrior one. And then we're going to release the arms and step back to the top of the mat. Okay. So you're not off the hook with standing balance just yet. We're going to take a big toe. And big toe may or may not actually even involve your big toe. Right? So go with it. Find where you can stand up tall. That's the important part anyways, to not fall down on your face, right? All the other stuff is extra. So near a wall if you need. We're going to shift all the weight over into the right foot. Simply lifting the left knee. So this is the beginning. Belly's in, we're standing up nice and tall here. You can hold here. You can maybe hang on behind your thigh as long as the shoulders can stay back. Yeah. You can grab the front of your shin, maybe pulling it in a little bit. Standing up tall. If you can stand up tall with it, the left index and middle fingers maybe wrap around the left big toe. Stand up tall. Don't let that right knee bend or your upper body droop. And if you are there, you can extend the left leg. Toes are forward or the foot is forward. It likes to kind of go out to this middle no man's land. Bring it in. How high can you lift your thigh, right? It's not just about the toe. It's about the back of the thigh. That's where it comes from, right? Take one more breath. And then gently release what you got. And we'll move to the second side. And again, as long as you didn't fall down, it's all good. So take your time. Let's shift to the left, lifting the right. And if this is where it is, it's good. Yeah. If you want more, you draw it in, hanging onto the thigh, hanging onto the shin. Climb your way down, right? See where's that middle, where's the edge, right, of what is too hard and what is not. Yeah. If you just rush to the end, you might have missed the edge. If you take the leg straight, of course you take the leg straight. Stand tall, shoulders back, belly in, tailbone under. You're breathing, right? You got to do that too. Let's gently release what you got here. And step back to your mat if you did step away to the wall, wherever you needed to go there. Let's stretch the arms out, take a nice big breath. And then exhale, take yourself over into your fold again. Stepping yourself back into down dog. And then just dropping down and take a little child's pose. Make sure everybody's doing all right. Good morning. So make your way back to a down dog. And we're going to step the left foot forward, coming to lunge. From here, take your hands, walk them around into the center of a straddle. So we were here earlier just in a seated position. Make sure it's wide enough without being too wide. Right? Your toes point forward here, you're even on your feet. If the knees need to be a little bit bent, that's fine. And if they're straight, just make sure they're not locked. So index and middle fingers wrap around the big toes. We're going to bend the elbows out to the sides, and just a little pull on the toes can give you a little bit deeper stretch if you still need a deeper stretch. Right? We'll release the toes then. Take the fingers to interlace behind the back again. Shoulders draw toward each other, knuckles reach away.
And don't necessarily force the hands away from your back. Let the shoulders do that. If they go, they go. If they don't, they don't. We're going to release the hands back to the mat.
And then play with this here. So if this is a big giant stretch already, just come on down. Okay? But see what happens if you take your feet a step wider. Maybe a step wider. If your bottom is high and you're already at your maximum stretch, just come down to your seat. Okay? But if your bottom is pretty low, take your hands, walk them back, and come down to your butt. Just a fancy way to get to the floor, that's all. So bring your feet back around in front. Have fun with this, especially because, again, if you're at home and no one's watching, why not be fun? You know, why not have a little fun, be a little goofy? No one can see you. Right? So play with that a little bit. So here we're going to have the legs extended out, right? Upright on the pelvis, your belly's in, you're comfortable, right? Inhale, stretch the arms toward the ceiling. And we're going to come forward into that fold again. So this one is probably deeper, hopefully, than the first. So here, let's go ahead and bend, or if you need to bend, of course, bend. Grab your right foot. Right, so if the knee needs to be bent, the knee needs to be bent. It's not a big deal. Hang on to that foot. So draw your shoulders back. So you're kind of pulling against the leg. If you can take the leg straight, lovely. If not, don't worry about it. Pull back, belly in, lean back, and lift the leg. So it can be bent, right? It can be straight. Kind of like with our big toe, if you lift the thigh closer to the belly, the toes come along, typically. You can bend your elbows out to the sides. Let's add a little twist in here. So take your left hand to the outside of your right foot. Keep the leg pointing forward. Release your right hand back. And stretch in opposite directions. Push the foot forward, reach the fingertips back. Let's release that. Hang on again, gently bringing the foot to the floor. Second side, grab onto the left foot. Again, bending if you need to bend. Hang on, pull back so your chest lifts here and lean back. Right, so up is wherever up is. We're taking the right hand to the outside of the foot. Left hand is releasing, reaching behind, that little bit of push and pull. And then let's release it, coming forward again, releasing the foot back to the floor. So one more here in this forward fold. Go ahead and grab onto your right foot again, lift it up. This time bend your knee. So if you didn't like it straight, don't worry, you don't have to have it bent or straight. So this time we're gonna pull and bend that knee, bringing your knee kind of in underneath your arm, right? Kind of into your armpit, right? And then pump it back and forth like that. And every time you pull it back, see if you can go a little bit deeper back there. Go one more time and pull that foot back or the knee back, depending on how your brain sees that, as much as you can. Pull it in, pull it in. Look at where your knee is in relationship to your shoulder. It's pretty weird. And then gently release that, take it back down. And we'll switch back to the left, right? So grab the left foot, lift up, bend at the knee and pull it in. And then just kind of pump it back and forth. One more time here, pull it back as good as it's gonna get. Check it out. And then release that side, foot to the floor. Lift the upper body up, stretch to the ceiling again, and then release the arms. So let's go ahead and bring the soles of the feet back together again. Hanging onto your ankles. Let your chest lift. We're gonna hinge forward again here. So elbows pressing the inner hips down, belly button to heels-ish, shoulders back. And then inhaling as you hinge back up, keep the chest lifted, hinge all the way back to balance. And then let's go ahead and C-curve the spine, roll on down to the back. Let the feet stay together and fall to the mat, knees relaxing out to the sides. You can add a little bit by using your hands at the tops of your thighs, pressing the lower body away, get a little extra stretch in there. And then go ahead and bring the knees together, hug your knees in toward your chest, and just rock a little bit here. So let's take a bridge then. Bring the feet to the floor. Feet roughly hip bone distance apart. So you can't see them, right? But if you feel them touching, obviously that's too close. And if you can take your hands back by your hips and you can feel your heels, that's too wide, right? So right in the middle there. Four corners of the feet even on the floor. Pretty close to the hips, not touching, right? Keeping your neck and head comfortable here. Press down into your triceps and feel your heels pull toward your hips to lift your hips up off the floor. Just nice and easy. Watch that the knees don't get wide. The even weight on the feet will help you tell where the knees are, right? Because you can't really see your knees a whole bunch here either, right? So you can press more into your arms to lift your hips a little bit. You can interlace your fingers, draw the shoulder blades together on your back to get a little lift there as well. Keeping the chest open, the tailbone tucked, so your neck and your lower back feel long. Let's take one more breath here. And then gently release what you got, making your way back to the floor, holding with the feet flat for just a breath or two. And then allowing the knees to move back into the chest and rock again. So from here, instead of having your knees into your chest, bring them over your hips. So your arms about an arm's length away, right? The shins are going to be parallel to the floor. So you've got a 90-degree bend in the knee. Belly's in, supporting your lower back, of course. If the legs start to go straight, the lower back has to kick in. And we don't want the lower back to kick in. We want to keep it aligned here, right? So the arms kind of wherever you feel like the arms need to be for you right now. Knee bend stays what it is.
And with an exhale, go ahead and take your heel toward the floor, maybe just touch. And then inhale and come back up to the center again, right? Or vice versa. As long as you're working with your breath, the heel toward the floor, and then back to center again. You're just going side to side like that. Make sure you're breathing with it. If you rush, the muscles don't get a chance to really work. And why wouldn't you, right? If you're feeling your lower back more than your belly, engage your belly. Or if you just can't make that happen, just stop and rest. We're gonna go one more time on each side. And then draw back to center, hug in. We're gonna add on to that. So if you loved it, you get to do it again. If you loved it. So knees over chest, the shins are parallel to the floor. That doesn't change at all. The arms this time are extending up toward the ceiling. Try and rest your shoulders back into the floor, right? So the belly's in, head and neck are comfortable. As the left heel moves toward the floor, the right thumb is coming to the floor overhead. And then you're coming back to center. And then the right heel and the left thumb and back to center, right? So side to side like that across the body, and your brain doesn't want to do it. Right? Your brain wants to flail around or move the same side in the same direction. So reaching away from the body in those opposite directions is a big thing for your brain too, right? So take your time, side to side. Once more on each side, so you're even left and right. And then when you're done, hug the knees back to the chest and rock again. So then taking your feet flat to the floor, go ahead and cross your left ankle over your right knee. Reach back behind your right thigh here, interlacing the fingers, and then draw that leg in towards your chest. So if you press the left leg away a little bit, you'll get a little stretch there. The more you pull the right leg in, you get more stretch there. Sorry about that. So you're going to keep the arms pulling toward the body and then use the leg to kick back into the hands. So push and pull enough that you feel your backside kind of flatten out against the floor. And then let's gently release that, taking both feet flat. And switching sides, so right ankle over left knee, reaching back behind the left thigh here, pulling in, pressing the right leg away. Keep drawing the leg in. Use the leg to push back into the hands. And then let's gently release it, both feet flat to the floor. So we're going to open the arms out into a T position then. Shift the hips over to the right side of the mat and drop the knees to the left. And just let your legs relax to the side, let the shoulder drop back. You can look over your right hand if you want to add that piece in. And then, of course, if you want to add on, you can take your right leg straighter. Maybe your toes reach your left hand, maybe they don't quite. If you do have your block, you can prop it up on a block, right? So the idea is to relax your leg to the side. And if you have to feel like you're holding it up, then maybe don't take the leg straight, or like I just happened to fall against this block here, you can let the block from the floor to your foot. We're going to take one more breath here. Bend at the knee, make your way back to center. And then we're going to switch sides. So take the hips to the left, let the knees fall over to the right. And again, here, just let the legs relax to the sides. And how deep anything else goes or does not go, don't worry about that. Just release into this twist and let it be what it is. And then add on, if your body wants to add on, always take that step in the middle to determine what you need today. Okay? Just because the body normally goes here, right, wherever here might be at that moment, doesn't mean it wants to do that right now. So take your time. Find what the body needs right at this moment. We're going to take one more breath. And then bend and make your way back to center again. So when you're back in the middle, go ahead and draw the knees back to the chest and rock. And then squeeze those knees in as tight to your chest as you can get. Pull the forehead toward the knees, rounding through your spine here. Give yourself a hug. And then release that, take a full body stretch. Releasing the stretch, let your arms come back down by your sides. And just take a moment. If you need to wiggle, shift, adjust, whatever you need to do here so that your body can be comfortable. Remember, if you prefer a seated meditation, maybe even sitting up against a wall, that's totally fine as well. Make your way to whatever Shavasana is going to be today. Just like with everything else, sometimes the body wants something different. Give the body what it needs. Once you find the physical place for your body, release. Allowing the awareness to move back solely to the breath. The body's done for now. And release the muscles that control your breathing. Right? Let them do their thing. They do it. They do it just fine. But see if you can keep your mind with it. And if simply watching your breath isn't enough to keep the awareness, maybe count. Keeping the mind focused and quiet. Just allowing yourself to truly rest.
draw in a deep, cleansing breath. And then let it all go with a great big sigh. Restoring small movements to the body first. And gradually allowing yourself to wiggle and stretch, maybe even another full body stretch. When you're ready, if you are still reclining, bring your feet to the floor. Roll yourself off to the side, taking time to bring the body back up into an upright position. Draw the palms to touch at center, bowing your head to your heart. From my heart to yours. Namaste. Thanks for playing, you guys. I'm still trying to figure out my lighting issues with the weather and the time changes and all of that, so I apologize for that. Hopefully everything else was good. Remember the 5-day challenge, 15 minutes a day of asana. So if you want to join in, just either respond in the comments or send me a message and I will get you hooked up with that. So it looks like it's going to be a beautiful weekend here, at least, hopefully where you are as well. Enjoy it, and I will see you next week. Bye.